Welcome to the Groove Dudes Podcast, a podcast for breaking down drum grooves and busting chops. My name is Cody Moulton, joined here by Tabor, as per usual. Whoa, that was like a fake out right there, but we got Tabor drumming us in today. So, guys, we had something so sad happen last couple episodes. We actually recorded 2 other episodes in this. 2 other ones.
We did.
Tabor, you were there, dude.
I was, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
I was really proud of those episodes. I thought they were better than any other episodes we've done before.
Yeah.
You'll just have to take our word for that. Cause what happened, Cody?
Oh my goodness, they just kaputted. So we finished recording, and we lost the last 5 minutes of each recording or so, and then we were getting like 1 frame every 10 to 15 seconds. So it was all screwed up, and I know what happened, and it's entirely Tabor's fault on his side.
It was. I had. Yeah. No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
it
you
was
sent
just
a virus
computer
through
troubles.
my computer to make me not let it stop recording when I probably should have let it stop recording. So anyway, we lost those 2 episodes, guys. So we're back today. We're not going to recreate that because it won't feel authentic. So later on, we'll go make an episode on Heritas and one on, what was the other one we did, Tabor? The Chevelle. It was the kick, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, double kick.
Yeah.
Single foot double kick grooves.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's not confusing. I don't know what is, but single
Yeah.
yeah.
Syncopated 16th note groupings.
Yeah.
Groupings of 2. We'll put it that way.
So we'll come back and do that another time. But today we're gonna just kind of dial it back a notch here, and we actually talked about in those episodes we wanted to do a little something with warm-ups. And warm-ups are massively important to your playing and to your routine. So we're just going to take, it's kind of unstructured. We're just jumping in here. We're going to take a couple of our favorite warm-ups right now and just show them to you. Hopefully you guys, if it's useful to incorporate into your practice, and by all means do. And then later on, we'll do a much more broken down series on warm-ups and things like that. But for now, get a little taste of some of these favorite warm-ups. So,
Heck yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
I love warm-ups because it's just, it's the perfect way to start the practice. I always sit down, take a moment to kind of clear other junk out of my head, because drums are your chance to like connect with something larger than yourself, like music, right? And just kind of have some self-reflection and stuff. And
like
warm-ups are a great
meditation.
way to jump it. Yeah, I really think so. And warm-ups are the perfect way to get the ball rolling in more than one way, and I'm sure we'll get into that. But
yeah.
Sorry, I'm stealing your thunder.
Oh, my goodness. Dude, this is
treat us to your warm-ups, dude.
You are all good, man. Appreciate the thoughts. So I'll start us off with one of my favorite warm-ups, and then we'll let Tabor dig into some of his. So mine are related. So I'm going to show you 7/8 is one of my favorite warm-ups. Essentially, what it is the point of this exercise, this warm-up, is to focus on coming in hot on those accents and then dialing it back immediately after for a quiet note, and being able to gain control over that range of dynamics in quick succession. So you think about the Mueller stroke. If you want to get good at Mueller stroke, this is really good for that. So I'll show you that. It's in a 7/8 pattern. 7 beats, but in an eighth note counts. So this is what it sounds like here. And I'll play it slow first, and then I'll play it normal speed, not normal speed, but kind of average speed right here. Then we'll break it down. So here's what it sounds like. That's it. So
Sick.
I'm going to count it out loud now, and you'll listen. You'll hear the 7/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's pretty much how it goes. I was going to do that left-handed. And counting that might break my brain a little bit, but that's essentially what we're doing now. When you play it fast, the goal again is to maintain control over those quiet notes. So. we're talking like 12-inch accents. Is like the sticks coming off the pad, maybe 12 inches, maybe a little bit more. Who cares? It's not science, right? But when you get down to those quiet notes in between, we're looking at like an inch off the pad. Very, very quiet, very subtle little notes. And if you can maintain that, then you really have a lot of, it just gives you a lot of control. So let me play one more. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tabor.
Oh, I was just going to say how powerful this is. I remember you expressing this dynamic range back when we were doing lessons together, you teaching myself, and that the more you can create that divide between your accents and keeping those other notes really quiet, I think it just makes you sound way more professional because you have so much more control, so much more versatility. And, warm-ups are meant to be done every day. So if you sat there and did that every single day of your life, how freaking good would you be at that control, right?
Right. So, I mean, this is what I learned when I was on drumline. And for a little perspective, we would sit there on drumline. We'd have practice for hour and a half or so every day in the mornings. I think it was probably more of an hour, but we would spend half the time at least on warm-ups together as a drumline. So 50% of our time, I don't know that that's necessarily right for everyone personally when they're practicing, but the point of that is they're huge, right? Because if you've got the range and you've got the comfort, you've got the control, you've got the speed, suddenly that's not getting in your way when you're trying to coordinate with somebody else on learning a part together. So this is one of them. Now, another way to kind of change this up is you can move it around the kit across the toms. Something like that if you want.
Sick. And the accents go 1-3-5, 1-4-6.
That's 1-3-5, 1-3-5.
1-4-6, 1-4-6.
And then 1-4-6, 1-4-6.
And then switch hands. Cool.
Yep, and then you switch hands. Yep. I'm glad you counted those out because I forgot to count those out.
No, I got you.
Now, if you want to take, so that's the accent version, really good for Mueller stroke and getting that control over accents. Now, if you want to get comfortable with a little more ghost notes and a little bit more speed, some more diddles going on, there's a paradiddle version of this. And it uses paradiddles and paradiddle diddles. And when you play it, it's actually the exact same pattern, twice as fast, using paradiddles instead. And I'll play it normal, and then I'll slow it down and break it down. But there's something I really like about this that I'll get to in a second here. It's actually half as long. I'll do it again because I screwed up a little bit. Okay, so this one doesn't switch right hand, left hand lead. It doesn't do any of that, okay?
Okay.
However, you should practice it right-handed and then left-handed. So I'm going to play it again. I'm going to slow it down, then I'll play it fast. So there's one paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle.
Okay.
Then repeat. Paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle. So
Sick. Okay.
2 paradiddles and a paradiddle diddle. Diddle, diddle, diddle.
And accents always the first of each paradiddle or paradiddle diddle. You're never accenting, para. That doesn't come up in this. Yeah.
None of those shenanigans. You can if you're psycho. You can do that. Honestly, that's a good way to practice it too, and add some flavor. But you get going. We'd play this on drumline, and it would be like we'd race each other and see who'd break first. And so when you get going, again, it's meant to give you that control over the smaller fast notes. Get cooking. Let me see if I'm going to push it a little bit more because I'm Stupid. Whew, I almost lost it there for a second in the middle. Anyway. Okay.
At least on my end, watching you on my screen right now, Cody, it didn't keep up with you. Like, that was sick.
Slow down.
You broke the podcast, dude.
Yeah, that's called poor CPU. But anyway, so again, 7/8 and 7/8 paradiddle. Use those if you want to get that control over accents and lower notes. I mean, when it comes down to playing with a lot of groove and a lot of like this contrast, you got to use dynamics. And accents and ghost notes are the two extremes, right? And so this exercise helps you get those two extremes, and then everything in between is nice. But these make the biggest impact on, I think, the excitement of your playing. So anyway.
Dude, sick.
Dude,
I love
smack
that.
us.
Okay, I got to incorporate that paradiddle, paradiddle, paradiddle diddle exercise in there, the 7. Dude, I'm so excited about this. So I can't remember where I saw this. I don't know if you taught it to me years ago, if I saw it in a video and then pretended it was mine, but it's definitely not my creation, but I love it. It's called the paradiddle pyramid.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
And it wasn't you. It wasn't you. Okay. What it is it's a single paradiddle, then a double paradiddle, and then a triple paradiddle, and then you go back down that ladder from your triple to your double to your single. You just repeat it over and over again. So I think we talked about this 2 episodes ago. Maybe it was the one that got filmed and didn't corrupt and explode.
The one that didn't die.
Yeah, but when we're talking about single, double, and triple paradiddles, for those who don't know, a single paradiddle has one para, which is 2 single strokes. Paradiddle, paradiddle, right? A double is 2 paras, paradiddle, paradiddle. Triple has 3. So when you play them in order of each other, 1, 2, 3, then back down 2, 1, and you do it over and over again, it creates a really beautiful melody. And it's just a great warm-up because you're training your brain, you're getting your hands, warmed up. What more is there to say? I'll play it for you guys.
Yeah.
I love it. Sped up a little bit in the middle there, but and I kind of want to go into. I actually wonder if you do this the same way, but part of doing warm-ups for your practice is getting your head in the right space. You know, a lot of times you might enter your practice room with a bunch of just gunk in your head, especially if you're one of the people that have to drive somewhere to get to your drums. Who knows what happened on your journey over there, right?
Yeah,
Maybe you had someone cut you off, or you're thinking about this or that, and you sit down and your mind's just absent. Warm-ups are not only good for the forearms and the hands, but they're also a way to kind of shut all that stuff out and be present with your instrument. So the way I practice is I always do my warm-ups to a metronome, and I'll chart out my progress, which is really motivating. So, turn up the metronome each day by 1 or 2, maybe sometimes 5 if you're feeling pushy. But you write that down, and then you just watch that number grow over time. And then the other thing I do is I don't want to constantly be checking the clock to see how long have I been doing something, what time it is. So I just set a timer on my phone, and I do each of my warm-ups for 2 minutes, and I do 5 warm-ups every time. So I have 10-minute warm-up for an average 30-minute practice. If I was doing an hour, I'd probably make that 20 minutes of warm-ups. So you said half in drumline. I do a third of my practice time.
That's that's what I usually recommend too. Is a third warm-ups. That gives you a third for exercises and a third for performance. And that's I prefer that for solo practice. And I see the value in doing longer if you're trying to lock in with other people, but I think most cases probably the people listening I think you're dead on with the 1/3 there.
Right on.
Now
so
it's funny.
I'm curious.
With the paradiddle thing you're doing, I like that because you get to practice speeding up like getting the engines roaring a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
and then immediately dialing them back and making sure you can
Yes.
rein it in. So it's actually
Yes.
probably a good exercise for tempo control.
Absolutely.
Because as you get those accents in there, I think it's easier to like start to push your speed a little bit. As you back off the accents, you might lose that speed. And it could be minimal, but with the metronome on, I think that could be a good way to help you
Absolutely.
walk in.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually often do an automated metronome where like every 4 bars it ups by like 5, and I set it within a range that I want to work, and so just over the 2 minutes I go up, and then it comes down.
Oh, that's cool.
And
What app is it?
Yeah, it's called Metronome Beats, completely free. I think it's on both Android and iOS, and it's got a little feature. You can set it to gradually. You can set it to every 20 seconds, every 2 measures. You got complete control over how often it ramps you up. You can set it to hit a cap, and then you could turn on the decrease, and once it hits that cap, it'll start dropping at whatever rate you set it at, and between whatever range you want too of speed. So I love
sweet.
it. It makes it fun.
Yeah.
At the risk of going too long on this pod, I've got one more real quick to share. This one I know I got from Drumeo, but pretend you saw it here only. It's a double
exclusive.
Yeah. This is a double bass drum exercise. What it is 3. Because I think you should warm up the legs too. You can't forget the old legs.
Leave those guys out.
Yeah, it's in 4/4. It's 3 beats of 1/8 notes, and then beat 4 you play 16ths. So it goes something like this. And so on. And I also use the increasing metronome for this one. I start real low, like. And then right now in my own personal playing, I'm trying to breach 160 for this exercise. I feel pretty solid up to 140, and then that last 20 BPM range sucks. But
starts kicking your trash, dude.
It starts kicking my trash, dude. But I love that one because it introduced those faster bursts that you might want. And then because you're playing double the rate for that little short burst, that builds your muscles to play double rate just as your new normal, right? That becomes your standard rate.
Well, it's good too because it's easy with double kick. I've noticed it's sometimes harder to play it slow.
Yes,
and there's a lot of things like that in drumming, but double kick, especially, at least for me, you'll go play some Disturbed songs, and that dude does everything double kick, even if it's like pretty reasonable tempo. And you get cooking sometimes, but a lot of it is double kick isn't that fast, but he's always doing it, and it gets kind of gnarly when you slow it down to make sure that you're dead on, that you're synced up, instead of mashing some of that double kick.
Yeah,
so I think that's a great exercise for that. And plus, it could be kind of fun to like incorporate. You start moving around the kit a little bit or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't done this before, so I'm gonna try it for a second.
Dude, go for it.
But I keep pointing to like on that last, coming out on the hi hat and on some
and then crashing into the next measure.
Crashes.
Yeah.
So, dude, I really want to play that single foot. Wow, I really want to play that. I really want to play the right foot single.
You're right.
So that's great. That's right. It's something that helps your brain explore a different way of playing, because in double kick, if it's slow enough, why use both legs? So get comfortable with that range.
Yeah. And even if you never practically use a double kick that slow because you can just single foot it, that control that's being developed at that slower speed, that
Right.
is the underbelly of the fast playing. I think that might be important to note for just warm-ups in general, is you don't always have to crank it to your max speed. In fact, sometimes it's good to just slow it way down, do something like a single stroke roll, and just see how locked into a metronome you can get. It's harder than it seems.
Well, and maintaining your stick heights and your dynamics, and the 7/8 pedal that I did a minute ago is easier for me at higher tempos than it is at slower tempos. So locking in all those notes and being super intentional about all of them really helps to like pave those paths in your brain to say, okay, I might be kind of sloppy the faster I get. I might not be noticing because I haven't shown my brain what the precision needs to be at a slow tempo.
That's a great way of putting it.
So anyway, dude.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, warm-ups.
Dude.
So we'll do more with warm-ups, but for now, here's a little appetizer. We'll call it an appetizer for more to come. But Tabor will let you drum us out. But
heck yeah, man.
Thanks for doing this one, my dude. This is going to be a good one, and its recording is going to stick. I swear it. So anyway, thanks for listening.
Yeah, we're not going to corrupt.
Yeah, no corruption here. We're not the government. All right. Anyway, thanks for listening to the Groove Dudes podcast. All right, the podcast for drum grooves and busting chops. My name's Cody Moulton. Got Tabor here, and you can find us on all social media on YouTube at GrooveDudesPod. You can email us at our email, groovedudespod@gmail.com. Please send us messages. Let us know what you want us to talk about and explore. And subscribe. Subscribe and rate the podcast wherever you can. That helps spread the word and get it out there. And follow us on social media because we like to cut snippets out of our episodes and make fun of each other, which is good for everybody. So anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. And go bust some chops.